I love traditional martial arts, but lately my main focus for my own training has been combatives. And it's not surprising because that is where I started it. I didn't call it combatives back then, but my cousin Jason Pelfrey and I started training military combatives through Army field manuals, which we picked up from Paladin Press in the late 80s. However, I soon realized I needed to be coached. So I joined a martial arts class. But I was never into it for the culture or the art. I was always into it for that worst case scenario of violence. That is the whole reason I began training. My early experiences in life taught me well that you are your own first responder, that you are responsible for your own safety, and that if you have to counter violence, it's not going to be somebody else who rescues you. It's going to be you. And this is the main reason why I love combatives. Over the past few years, I started finding other sources other than Army field manuals, other than martial arts. Guru Ed Wong was one of the main influences on me for bridging the gap between martial arts and combatives. I also looked for other sources. Kelly McCann's 1-2-3 Combatives video set has been an amazing source for me. All of the material that Lee Morrison has put out has been fantastic. The books from Mark McYoung, especially In the Name of Self-Defense, have been awesome. Randy King has really taught me a lot about the difference between combatives, martial arts, and self-defense. And you can break that down even further. Jason Schultz, Mike Raymond, and Seth Raymond have really helped me along in combatives ideals towards knife combatives and also empty hand combatives. I've also received some material from Scott Bob on the Libra fighting system, and I cannot stress enough how much the advice from James Keating has helped me in my training as well. Now, as far as martial arts go, I'm well versed. I have 3 systems I can instruct in Filipino martial arts. I'm a coach in Muay Thai. I've done a lot of work in martial arts. I have had great success with pugilism and teaching Thai boxers, and I have some really good amateur fighters out of my gym. But what I train for myself is how to counter violence with force if necessary. What I train for myself is trying to develop a trigger and brutal action until I can escape to safety, because safety is the goal in the end. I understand that force must be able to be scaled to the situation. So I train myself often in the worst case scenario, but I also train myself to be able to scale my use of force to make sure that it is appropriate to the situation, because I don't want my defense to put me in jail. I don't want my defense to take me away from my family, even though I survived the fight. In the end, that's what your goal is. Your goal is protecting yourself and protecting your loved ones. This is a noble goal, and I think it is an important goal for people to embrace, especially parents, especially people who have youngsters who are under their protection. I take it very seriously when I am around children that my job is to protect them. I take it very seriously when I'm with my loved ones that it's my job to protect them. This is not just something I take lightly. This is a fun activity for me, but in the end, it is a calling for me. For me. This doesn't mean that everybody has to see life like that. It doesn't mean that everybody has to be like that. But the more people in our society who have embraced that ideal, the safer we are walking our streets. The more people who are willing to stand up for themselves and for others, and to be able to use force if they have to, the safer we are. Criminals already know how to use force, especially experienced criminals. It is the civilians, the regular people, who are behind the 8 ball. And I want to help do my part to educate good, lawful people how to use force effectively. It is a lifestyle for me. It is something that I will practice to the end of my days. But not just because I want to protect others, also because of the community that gets built around teaching this, the community that gets built around teaching people these skills. And it may not be me who has to protect themselves. It may be one of my students. And I want to make sure that I give them the best information I can. I want to make sure I give them the best training I can. Because in the end, when you're under pressure, it is your training that you'll fall back on. Have a great day. Thank you.